2 holes as everyone else went far river right. So we caught a good wave from both holes right in the middle. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, baby!
My name is Mark Nelson, and this is why I raft. For the last 25 years of my life, every single year, I have stood atop the plateau overlooking the confluence of the Green and Colorado rivers. I've heard legend of what lied below, and despite the fact that I've grown up as a rafter and kayaker in Utah since the age of 13, I have never experienced the canyon from below. This year, I was determined to change that. Looks like we're headed to Cataract Canyon. The trip was booked, but unfortunately, tragedy overcame my family when my father was called home to the God that blessed us with him. Old Man River was the foundation and inspiration for my desire to raft and kayak. But you know, he's the one that taught me all this. He's the one that showed me how to river raft. He's the one that taught me everything. With my dad, I remember that it's always one of those things, like if he were here right now, he would have just been like, "Since when did you ever pay attention to me?" But I was watching the whole time.
It's a solid crew we have here today. Going in the middle boat.
I remember him, and I thank him for giving me this and for teaching me this. And man, it's beautiful. For this trip, my father had handmade a new cat frame to support the trip with a new motor.
He worked so hard on that frame, and it was sad that he wasn't here to see it. But it was a good day. Lots of memories of Dave, and lots of love, and I think he's here with us. So I love Paul said in his prayer this morning, and God give Dave a punch in the arm. That was funny. Anyway, it was a good day. Beautiful day.
It was.
Beautiful day on the river.
Since the passing of my father, this trip provided me with a new opportunity and perspective to think about why being on the water means so much to me.
Here we go.
Cataract Canyon.
Cataract Canyon 2022.
Without question, one of the greatest things about rafting and kayaking is the people that I get to do this with.
My name is Aniron Faust. A lot of people on this trip call me AJ.
My name's Matt Pratt.
My name's Laura. Hi, I'm Kelsey Bryson.
Hi, my name is Paul Jones.
I love coming with this group and just really found a lot of good close friends. I think one of the reasons why I love to raft and to be out here is the relationships, and then being in a remote place where you've got to survive, you've got to be able to count on the people around you. It really brings people closer together.
I've been rafting for 13 years now. I've developed some of the greatest relationships of my life rafting. I've learned some of the greatest life lessons from the river. And I just want to put a quick caveat in there that just because I learned a lot of lessons doesn't mean that you should go rafting and you should go learn a lot of lessons, because you probably won't, just so you know. So rafting's not for everybody.
The reason I raft, one of the reasons I raft, is because of the people. Multi-day river trips bring people together and you get to connect on such a deep level.
This trip had some of the best people on it. I say that a lot, but this trip had amazing people.
You can go to the wilderness by yourself and be inspired, no question. But when you go to the wilderness and you're inspired and you're with people you love, like that's like, all right, 10x. That's awesome. And that's what river rafting is for me. And yeah, we'll see you on the river. Or not, hopefully not.
Here we are. We have launched. Cataract Canyon. We have launched. Yeah, I know, we should have broken the bottle, shouldn't we? Let's see if I can get the motor going. We started at Potash this morning. We've done around 34 miles.
Yeah, I know.
I'm letting it run for a little bit.
I know. I was trying to
Oh my goodness! Woo! See you guys. We'll see you guys. We got on, launched a little bit later than we wanted, for probably about 10:30, but the motor was amazing. It works. Honestly, got onto the water, that motor just pushed, and it was awesome. Got all the way down to we even stopped for a couple hikes, looked at the petrified forest. That was really cool. And got to see a Pueblo ancestry kind of ruin.
This looks like somebody's home.
Yeah, it does. That's way cool. Big negative for the day is that the raft frame sits really low, and so it was actually dragging through the water pretty much the whole time. So that's an issue, because when we got to the camp, the dry boxes were full of about that much water, and the dry bags that I had packed underneath were dragging through water the entire day, and that just so happened to be Joey's and my mom's dry bags. So we've ended up with really wet gear. Other than that, it was a great day.
I love the opportunity to just disconnect from everything for a while. Whitewater kind of scares me, so I tell people that I come on a river trip for the food and the scenery.
Hot chocolate can, yeah.
I raft because I like to see these canyons as one of the last untouched areas of development. It's great to feel like an explorer and see somewhere that is nearly the same as it was back in the 1800s when settlers were first coming out to the west.
Getting away from society as a whole and experiencing something that you can't experience any other way. You can have roads that run through this canyon, and you don't understand the canyon until you see it from the river. It is a completely different perspective of the entire thing, this world that God has created.
Brown Betty Camp is an amazing camp. It is just, as far as the eye can see, beach that stretches. And we've been playing sand games, spike ball, can jam, just having some fun. Hey, they got a point.
Some fun things about this trip is that, you know, we're all disconnected. We can all enjoy time together.
Oh yes!
What are you doing?
Racing.
Playing
games.
Go! You got it, you got it.
She's got it! That's it! Which right now, we just got confirmation from somebody back home through satellite texting that we're about 20,000 CFS, which is where I wanted to be. So I think that is a fantastic flow. That Mixed Brown Betty behind me, a big, nice, high volume wave train. It's got a really nice wave right at the top that I've been able to surf a couple times with my kayak. And then also hearing stories of what happens tomorrow, hearing stories of these rapids, how big they are. Satan's Gut, Little Niagara, those are all going through tomorrow. And we're running at 20,000 CFS. So we're gonna have big waves, big fun, big smiles. Hopefully nobody flips over, fingers crossed. Yo! What's really interesting about doing this river is that I've never done this before. It was a completely new river, and it's really exciting to be able to do brand new rivers that you've never done before. But I always get this feeling in my stomach. It's just like this nerve that's always there, especially when I know that it's building up to something that's like even harder. So like building up to drops 1, 2, and 3, because I know that those are the biggest rapids. Everything before that just feel tight and just feel like, you know, that anxiety building. And then we got to drop 2, and I decided to run the right side through what's called 2.5. So there I am in my kayak, and I followed Paul and my mom and Joey's line, and just huge crashing waves. And I came out on the other side and everything was totally fine. And just like immediately that feeling of anxiety is just completely lifted. And that's when I get the stoke.
Yeah, baby! Woo!
That's when it's like, I'm so excited and I'm just so relaxed at that point. Like just everything releases, and I just, you know, all rapids beyond that point, it's like, no, that was good. Let's go bigger, bigger, bigger. Like let's find the next biggest hole that I can find, because it's that, like, it's that challenge that gets you up to the point of, this is something unknown, something new. But when you break through what you know is the hardest point, it's just like, well, honestly, I could accomplish anything at that point. It's like this anxiety that builds and builds, and then finally you get through it, and it's just like, bam, that is so good, so good.
This is for Dave. Love you.
As the river flows, it digs into the canyon walls, creating a greater depth and beauty to the canyon it has forged. Ultimately, for me, the river has done the same thing to my soul, carving, smoothing, and deepening my experience of life. They say all good things must come to an end, but this trip, like many others, will live on in my memory. The friendships that we forged and the changes it has made.
Heavy on my side. What's happening? Shut up. Shut up, Mark. I'm actually pushing you down now instead of down. All right, left. 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 I'm confused. Thank you.
I was talking to a couple people earlier about this river trip, and it was a day of rapids and 3 days of flat as you can get. But to be honest, I enjoyed the flat just as much as I did the rapids. This has been fantastic.